Right, just before we came on, we were talking about lag, and John said I had some lag, and I said, anyway, we just move on.
I don't want to know about that lag.
We were talking golf, weren't we? The lag putt? No, probably not.
I'm sure we were.
Hey, tell us about that shirt.
Oh, man. This?
Yeah.
This is from R40, and it is the final date from the Kia Forum in Los Angeles.
August 1st.
I had tickets to the show, to one of the final outdoor shows at Irvine Meadows in California before they went indoors to the Kia Forum. But when Getty and Alex come on on all of the social medias and they go that they're coming back out for a tour, basically my entire life stops.
And so it should.
Well, yeah, but get this. So I give the band full credit for scheduling a show on my birthday in Fort Worth, Texas. I give them full credit for that. I do not, however, give them any credit for scheduling it during the World Cup month.
Hey, you can't always get what you want, right?
That might be true.
Yeah.
What I have done is I have put myself in the queue, and I will find out, what the ticket prices are, and I imagine that they're astronomical, as you know what.
Probably.
It's going to have to be after the World Cup, so it would be either one of the shows at Scotiabank. Up at the post office.
I'm familiar with that.
Hey, up at the post office. It's going to have to be one of those.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be at Madison Square Garden, or it's going to have to be in Cleveland. So I shudder to think what the prices are going to be. But the fact that they are bringing in this drummer who is, by all indications, who is known as one of the most technically sound drummers out there, and that the tour has been endorsed by Neil's widow and his daughter, Carrie Nuttall. If they endorse it, I'm like, okay.
Big deal.
Yeah, and so literally it has been, I will go ahead and admit to this, it is tough for me to listen to their music now because Neil is no longer with us.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. And I would assume that would be consistent with many who followed bands for a long time and the originals are not.
And so, I have the same with Tom Petty, same with Jimmy Buffett, same with, and so yesterday when they announced it, literally it's like a door opened again.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to 2112 and Subdivisions and all that kind of stuff, and I'm finding the T-shirt for the morning show this morning, and I'm like, yep, we're back in the door. So, yeah, I imagine that this is probably going to be smoking by the time we come back here. But, yeah, miles and points, you're looking at it that way, and, yeah, here it is. Yeah, that's probably how it's going to be. So,
hey, it's worth it, man.
You ain't kidding. You ain't kidding.
No. You want to know what's worth it? A kind of a good segue, I guess.
Uh-oh.
This is North-South. We're going to talk about Shedeur Sanders.
That's not a segue, sir.
No, but I'm just going through the list of the topics. LeBron James again, thinking he's better than the game. That's at least in my opinion. We'll talk Major League Baseball playoffs. Panthers Lightning preseason shenanigans, which I'm so sick of, to be honest with you. I want to begin, though. Here's the segue into what we were talking about money and about being worth it. I'm putting this up right now. Connor McDavid, 2-year extension, $25 million, AAV 12.5. We were quite adamant about that the contract was not going to be astronomical when it comes to term, and likewise astronomical when it comes to dollars. 12.5, John.
Yeah.
He's under Draisaitl. This is an absolutely team-friendly deal, and he's leaving money on the table, and what he's now doing is giving that money that he left on the table to the GM and the upper brass of the team to say, okay, you take that and you try to figure something out. Because it's one thing to get to the Cup final. We've done it twice. We've lost. We want this thing. So now they have 3 years left, John, right now with McDavid, for sure, to try to get that cup.
Make ish happen. I'm leaving it on the table. You can bring in a couple of dudes. If you didn't think that Edmonton, for a double negative, if you didn't think that Edmonton wasn't Connor McDavid's team,
right,
it is now.
Oh, it is.
Because he is the one who is like, look, we got there. We got to do some extra stuff, get it figured out. I'll leave money on the table. And the other reason that we only said that it was going to be a short-term deal is because of the end of the CBA. Draisaitl can get all of this lineup that he wants, and he could sit there and make $17 gazillion a year AAV, But if there's a collective bargaining agreement that stops play and you're at the table and you ain't playing, you ain't getting paid. It doesn't matter what your salary figure is and what your AAV is. That's to the end of the CBA. Connor McDavid's got it locked down. And all right, front office, time to rock and roll and let's get some ish done. It's a great team move for the guy who now runs Edmonton.
And it's something where I look at, and we talked about last time we did this, Kaprizov signing that huge extension, right? So he's the highest paid starting next season on an AAV at 17. And then you look at what McDavid did, and he's better than Kaprizov. He's the best in the game. And this goes back to what I've said all along about him and others as well. There is this thing in sports that if you are the best player in that said sport, you should be paid the most amount of money. I've never been one to support that or agree with it or think that that is a necessity, because it seems to be a necessity. A lot of the people believed after Kaprizov signed that deal that McDavid, short-term or long-term, more than likely short, you have to pay him more than 17. He has to be the best and highest-paid player in the game. That's not the case. He doesn't give a you-know-what about money. He can make the extra 5, whatever it is in endorsements. He cares about winning. And I think what he has done, he has handled this situation from the get-go, him and his agent and his wife and his family, those close to him. He has handled it in an absolutely professional way. This is something we have not seen, John. We have not seen the best player in the game leave so much money on the table, short-term or long. So hats off to him. And number 97, as you said, he has now made a statement to the team saying, yeah, this is my team. You know that. Now you do know that. You best go out and get something to happen because we need this cup.
Because at the end of this deal, if things have not improved in Edmonton,
see ya.
Bye.
Gone.
And you know that he will be making a boatload more in the next CBA after this 3 years is up if nothing happens in Edmonton. This is both a gesture and a warning.
It is.
The Edmonton front office.
And do you know who, again, this free agent class of 2026, that was all sexy and stuff, and we did believe that not a lot of these players would remain or go to free agency. They would sign with their teams. Kaprizov has, McDavid has. There's Panarin, there's Eichel, there's Bobrovsky, there's others. I firmly think that a lot of them are not going to go to free agency. They will re-sign. But what this does is that makes now McDavid a free agent at the end of the 27-28 season. Guess what? Guess who? I'm just throwing this out there. Austin Matthews is also a free agent, and they both have the same agent. I'm just going to, just going to leave it to that.
I mean,
yeah,
just saying.
Good on him. Honestly, good on him. Now go get it, Edmonton. And you're right. Put it this way: even if they get back to the final, he needs to win a cup. If they don't win a cup in the next 3 seasons, he's done. It is cup, not bust, but it's cup or I'm gone. Let's move on. More hockey, then we'll get to Major League Baseball, LeBron James, etc. John, I'm so sick. I understand about rivalries in sports. I get it.
Yeah.
I know it's good for the game, whatever game it is.
Yeah.
I know it's good for the fan bases.
Yeah.
It's great for the fan bases.
Yeah.
What the Tampa Bay Lightning and Florida Panthers have done in the preseason, let me just back that up and say it again. In the preseason, and I did that on purpose. Preseason, I think, is ridiculous. I understand you don't like each other. I understand you hate each other. I understand there's bad blood, and it's been there for a long time, and what happened last season has carried over. I get it. Now Tampa's being fined. John Cooper's being fined.
Yep.
People have been fined. They've been this, they've been that. The thing with me, and I've talked to many people about this, they've said, oh, it's great for the game. It's great, it's great. That's fine. But if someone gets really badly hurt, if a star player gets really hurt in one of these acts that they do, what's the point of it all? I'm tired.
I mean, you look at, I look at it as the gamesmanship that is attached to this rivalry. But honestly, I think it might be a bit misplaced in the schedule. Let's put it that way. It took 371 days for the Red Wings to extract revenge upon Colorado Avalanche. They waited for the right opportunity. Is doing something in the preseason the right opportunity to try and make your statement, or are you just trying to get it out of your system, cleanse your palate, and move on? That to me is what I'm staring at in this.
Well, then do it in one game. Don't do it in every preseason game. Do it in the one game. Do it in the first period. Let it out and be gone with it. Be done with it.
I think that since it is going to be a continuous act, this is going to be a plot line for the entire season. That's just me right now, thinking out loud, not having any real basis of fact. If it's going to be like this in the preseason, this will be a continuing theme throughout these matches this entire season. If it's going to be like this, then instead of waiting for that one moment where the code takes over and comes back and everything is washed, you've already set the precedent, these two teams, in the preseason of, okay, Matt, game day 1, it happened. Okay, so then what happens? And the other team has to come back game day 2, and you do it again. Game day 3, you've got to make up for what happened in game days 1 and 2. This will be a continuing theme throughout the season, and I would sit there and wave FedEx envelopes in front of both of these clubs' front offices and go, look, just know that this is coming. If you're gonna do this all season long, just know that 2 days after that game is over, you're going to be getting one of these, and the address is going to be New York, 10020 or whatever, 56 Park Ave or whatever. Those are coming, and it's going to get a lot bigger each and every time those envelopes show up. Right now you're talking 50, and John Cooper got fined. Cooper's fine is going to get bigger. The team's fines are going to get bigger.
Yeah, it's going to go up. It's going to go up.
And it's going to be up to the owners of these clubs to sit there and go, okay, look, I get it. I don't mind cutting checks. It's like Javier Bardem in F1, that one scene where you sit there and you see all the checks, and he's just signing Ruben Cervantes, and he's just kind of looking. It's like, hey, you're just signing all these checks. That's what that's going to look like in both Tampa and Florida this year and in Sunrise when this continues. I'm not going to say if, but when it continues. This is going to be very expensive. It's going to be messy. And it's going to be out of control, I think, at some point. And I wonder what that tipping point is going to be instead of waiting for that one moment to get it out of your system.
You said Messi, and we didn't even mention Lionel. So that was a good one.
Well, because he's kind of busy at the moment.
He is.
International duties.
He is.
And his club has a match in hand, and they got to get that done this weekend while he's representing Argentina, and they still may end up being the 2 seed in the Eastern Conference.
The two teams as well, they're good. They're good teams. Yeah. They've been very good for a long time. Let's not just look at them as goons and these physical whatever trying to get at each other. Get it out of your system. If you want to save it for a 7-game series in the playoffs, go ahead. That's fine. But when you meet again, they're going to meet a bunch of times. Season starts tonight. This is the 7th of October. It's Tuesday.
It's not going to stop, dude. You know this.
No, it's not. I know that. So I've always been one. Deion Sanders, I loved watching him play when he was in the NFL.
Went to school with him. Went to school, full disclosure.
So he electric. And to be a dual athlete and be very good at both sports. I think one of the best, if the best ever, was Bo Jackson. I just think it's too bad the hip injury derailed him and whatever. Anyway, we can talk about that some other time. But I loved watching Deion Sanders play. He was a naturally gifted athlete. He worked at his game, both games, and he worked at his craft. He was very good at it. There was an attitude. There's a pompousness that has been with Deion for a long time. Maybe it subsided a tiny bit in his older age, but it has filtered down to the rest of his family. Shedeur Sanders, so many storylines, John, going into the NFL draft about him being passed over, the interviews he was terrible with, and the attitude, and he was cocky, and all this stuff. He's in the Cleveland Browns' plans, but he's not in their immediate plans. And that doesn't make him very happy. When you can silence a very vocal individual like Shedeur Sanders has been silenced, what does that tell you?
That Dylan Gabriel and Joe Flacco are more ready for the NFL?
Right. And then 1B is that this is putting him in his place, that he does not rule wherever he is at. Look, you may be different in college. You may be different in high school. You may be different at home. This is the NFL. My man, this is the NFL.
You're walking into a new setup entirely. You got to prove yourself all over again. And Travis Hunter is having the same kind of growing pains in the National Football League right now. When it comes to ego and swagger, I went to school with Deion, and I knew the difference between Deion and Primetime. I knew the difference because I covered him, and we were on the same campus. I knew that Primetime was what Primetime was out on the field. I knew that Deion was the father of DeAndre. That difference I knew. And I could separate the two when it came to covering him as an entity and covering him as an individual and all of that stuff. These days, And I'm talking outside the Sanders clan in general. These days, you can't at times tell where the person ends and the persona begins. And if it ends up blending in the two, then it makes it that much more difficult for both of those individuals, for both halves of that personality, to function and for us to be able to separate one and the other. The bottom line is right now, in Cleveland, it is the view of the coaching staff with the Browns that Dylan Gabriel is more ready to be a quarterback and learning from Joe Flacco on a daily basis and that quarterback and the quarterback coaching tree and the coaching staff than Shedeur Sanders is. Shedeur Sanders has, in college, you could tell that the raw ability was there, and you could also tell that there was issues with decision-making, where he would rush decisions, he would throw into coverages that he shouldn't, and it would end up eventually costing Colorado in games. He could tuck and run like nobody's business, running at 900 miles an hour and getting things done that way, but it's a different game in the NFL now. And bravado is great, persona is great, but at the same time, if you're not learning and not presenting yourself with the opportunity to go out and prove that your persona is saying the right things, then that's the issue.
He had the silent interview, and ESPN analysts and others have said it was just immature to do that. But he's been silent, and for, again, him to be silent, that's a big, big thing when it comes to the Sanders clan, if you will. All right, let's talk Major League Baseball playoffs. So, big game tonight. Dodgers, of course, is just a matter of time before.
Where's your hat?
Well, you don't like the hat.
No, I don't, but I figured you'd be wearing it if we're talking about the Dodgers.
No, I was just going to mention them, but I was going to do a deeper dive into what the Blue Jays are doing.
Where's your Blue Jays hat?
New York.
Mr. Toronto, where's your Blue Jays hat?
It is not visible at the moment. If I was to reach behind me here, I have a golf hat and a Dodgers, but I'm keeping it where it's kept because since I've kept it there, they've had a good run.
Ah, yes.
Okay.
I can respect the streak. I respect the streak, yes.
So what we saw the other day from, anyway, the first two games for Toronto, 23-run score, they're up 2-0 in the Yankees. That 13-7 game that they won in Game 2, it was a lot different than, I think, the outcome of it all, because when Trey Savage was pulled from the game, who was absolutely electric, John, and they've got it's different in baseball than in the NHL. You've got a 3-year entry-level contract. When you kind of break in, you're on board with that team for a number of more years, like 5 or 6 or something. So Trey Savage is going nowhere. And after what he did in Game 2, absolutely electric. The Yankees' bats, they looked poor. They couldn't hit anything. You put a beach ball from you, Savage, and that thing would still dip about 60 degrees. So going in now to Game 3, John, this is a must-win for the Yankees. There's concern, yes, you're not facing a Savage, but they got a pretty good guy, too, in Shane Bieber, the Blue Jays do going tonight.
Yeah, Nick Arbuckle had a really good game in Game 2. He gets 7 of 13 for 156 yards, had a score, and threw a pick. And the 13-7 win, showed that the defense for the Double Blue was doing really well. And you're looking.
You had me for a second. I was like, hold on a minute. What? Okay, I get it.
Come on, man, play with it.
You pivot. Yeah. I get it.
Pivot. Exactly. Yeah, but we don't have sofas on staircases here. I mean, for me. Look, Savage could throw a beach ball from Muskoka and people would have problems, missing it and trying to make contact with it. Mm-hmm. I'm enjoying the trouble that the Yankees are having because I want fresh blood. I want new faces deeper into the postseason.
Agreed.
And for me, one of the resilient moments of what baseball can do is, I don't know if you've heard it, and if anyone has not, I would go find it. But the Vladimir Guerrero Grand Slam call in French.
Excellent.
The Montreal Expos 280-character app account, they post these kinds of things that go on during the postseason and such. Yeah. So go find the Montreal Expos 280-character app account. They've got it posted. It's beautiful, and it's the way that baseball should be called north of the border.
Poetry.
Yeah, it was really good. So, look, just keep putting the pedal down and keep working with what you're doing. Most of America outside of the northeastern United States is rooting for the Blue Jays in this series.
Yeah. Did you hear the call on WFAN?
I have an idea as to what it might be, but
it was like Shedeur Sanders.
It's just you're done.
Yeah, I'm paraphrasing. It was basically Vladdy is ready to jump all over a pitch, and then he hit it, and then they said, yeah, he just did. Then they were dead silent. There was nothing out of that.
I mean, Oh, there's not much you can do to react in that kind of a situation if you're a Yankees broadcaster. Nothing against Michael Kay and the crew. I love Michael Kay as an announcer. But like I said, probably good 95% of the country is rooting against the Yankees in that series, so I'm sure they appreciated the silence and the laying out for the rounding of the bases.
One thing to look at before we move on is Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is one of the best of all time already. He'll go down in history as that. He's one of the best in the game right now. Him and Shohei probably won two. I know there's a lot of others. You can make an argument with that outside of Shohei, but his OPS is 250 below what he does in the regular season. He is one person. He's not a Derek Jeter. He's not Mr. October. He's not Reggie Jackson. Sorry, Jeter in November. He's not Mr. October. So anything that he has done in the 162 games in the season, John, he just can't seem to find that rhythm in the playoffs. It's kind of intriguing to think about that.
Oops.
That's it.
No, not that. The Yankees can't find their rhythm in the postseason.
Yeah.
The world is turning on its axis.
The world is done.
It's like that hydroelectric dam in China that slowed the Earth's rotation by 6/100ths of a second. That's the kind of seismic thing that you're looking for here. The rest of the world is like, darn.
Too bad.
Seriously, that's happening to Aaron Judge.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Fresh blood, I'm with you. Even if it wasn't from Toronto, I'd certainly... You're not just pulling for a team, you're pulling for an entire nation.
Yeah.
To get in and to get moving through that. So hopefully the World Series.
Bring expansion back to Montreal, by the way.
Yeah, please. Let me show this again. So, look, here's my opinion on LeBron James. Number one, you're never going to be the greatest of all time, so stop thinking that you are. We've talked about this before. You're never going to be bigger than the game, so stop doing things that make you think you're bigger than the game. The latest one is that he teased this second decision. Remember that whole thing that he did? I'm taking my talents to South Beach? Yeah. That made for... Who does that? He does.
Mm-hmm.
Enough, even back then. So now he's hinting, and he was tweeting out or Xing out, whatever you want to call it. There was a seat and another seat occupied. And it was, the decision number 2. It's coming. This was just a hoax. It just had to do with Hennessy.
Yeah.
It just had to do with, yes, he's coming back. And before that, when Lakers fans thought that perhaps this was going to be his last year in the league, ticket prices went from like $85 to $550.
Of course.
Because they were thinking, we've got to go see him. But, no, I'm just kidding. I was just playing with you. Come on, LeBron. I'm sick of it.
Just when you, and this is, I guess, my social media warning for the morning. When you have things like this that pop up on your social media accounts, these days, as a rule, and I don't know when this turned and changed, but we are kind of predisposed to the instant reaction. The idea is to be first instead of correct in journalism these days. And that has been a downfall in our industry, where you've got to be first with whatever's out there, and then you fix it later. So when you're looking at something on social media, take a step back for a second. Think about it and go, okay, is this about marketing something? Is this a legitimate attempt in trying to pursue a storyline? Because if he, meaning LeBron in this case, was going to be hanging it up, something that is that big of a story would not get past all of the NBA insiders, and they would be breaking that news ahead of this social media video that is there for Hennessy VSOP. So when you see something, take a step, take a slow step. I mean, take the speed down a little bit, hit the brakes, and look at it for what it is before you sit there and you go, oh my God, something's happening, and it's like, Kevin up and down the staircase in Home Alone when he realizes he's in the house by himself and the parents have gone and they've left him there.
That's a good comparison.
To avoid that reaction, just do a little digging. Just sit there and go, okay, that's cool, so what is it? Take it at face value. Don't think of anything deeper into it, so you don't get all hacked off and understand that it's just an ad for Hennessy VSOP, which for Hennessy VSOP gives them a boatload of promotional material because of all of this attention that they garnered, because the wording of the social media post lent itself to an idea of, hey, wait a minute. But then you get to the punchline, and Hennessy's like, yeah, that's us. And Hennessy, is in a boardroom that's glass encased. They've got a glass matching table, nice rectangular thing. The glass in and of itself is hermetically sealed. No noise gets out. You got a TV at the end. You got a bunch of easy chairs that can rotate and spin and rock back and forth. Hennessy's folks inside that corner conference room are sitting there and looking at all the analytics from what happened, from all the responses, like what we've done here, to sit there and go, how many times was hashtag Hennessy VSOP mentioned because of the firestorm that was created by a nicely double-worded promo. Just comment it. Just comment it. Just take a sec, take a breath, look at it for a minute and go, okay, what's going on here? Because no other information got spun out. What is this for?
Whenever he does retire, I think he's going into his 23rd season, if I'm not mistaken. It's crazy to think that the guy's going into his almost been 25 years.
Crazy. A
quarter of a century in the NBA. But whenever he does, it's going to be one of the biggest retirement spectacles in history. Absolutely. And I'm not going to watch any part of it.
I'm not an NBA guy, so for me it'd be like, yeah, okay, it might be on in the room, but I'm not going to really sit there and pay attention all that much.
Yeah. Last one. And I don't know if I think I may have sent this to you.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think I did. So this I was shocked when I saw this.
Yeah?
An 18-year-old.
I was going to say, which this are you referring to, sir? But okay.
An 18-year-old.
Yes.
Just raised $10 million in funding.
Cool.
For a new sports league that this individual has put together. Mm-hmm. The new sports league is called sperm racing. So what this league does, John, it collects the sperm of its athletes and injects it into small dishes on a racetrack with real crowds watching, and they see whose swimmers cross the finish line first. To add to this, Silicon Valley decided that this league, which was valued at $75 million,
sure,
is worth more than some WNBA teams.
Okay, well, that's asinine first and foremost.
Racing league.
Well, more than anything, where the hell did you find this story?
Hey, I can't reveal these sources. Yeah. I can't reveal these.
So what you're saying is you're going to keep your pants on when it came to the reveal for the story.
Well, it makes sense with the sperm racing, right? Yeah.
Look. People are going to invest in things that they want to invest in. Either that the money that Silicon Valley allegedly had to put into this is investing in this because they need a line item that they can navigate in their budget, or it is something that they want to sit there and look at the other elements attached to this league, physical property, futures, economics, what have you, and find out where else they can invest. So that $10 million may not be necessarily for the league itself. It might be for the other interests that are attached to the individuals that are running the league. So this could be a side investment, not necessarily in the league directly, but in the properties that the folks that are owning the league and running the league may have in other places. So Silicon Valley looks at it as a way to invest sideways in 180 degrees and sit there and look at things. So when you see stuff like this, no matter how completely and totally asinine and off the wall it is, look at what else those individuals might be doing. Look deeper and find out, okay, so this is, look, and people are going to put this on Twitch and on YouTube or whatever, the league in and of itself, which to me is fine. If you want to watch it, that's up to you. But look at the other investments and interests attached to the league, and that's where that money is going, not necessarily to the immediate product, but the stuff that's attached to it as you work your way through.
Spermracing.com, they have a live stream.
Not really going to watch.
The stories, the San Francisco Standard. Go on sanfranciscostandard.com. John,
I'm not.
To know about sperm racing.
No, I have zero interest in that. And like I said, if that is your petri dish, that's on you. And I have zero interest in it. I'm going to need updates from folks who decide that they're going to sit down and completely and totally waste their day looking at something like this. Frankly, they probably just need to come up with other things to inject life into their daily.
I'm going to try, as we continue the show, I'm going to try to inject something like this type of story. And
I don't want to know about what you're planning on injecting. So I really don't.
Goes back to the lag when we started the show.
Wow.
I'm going to try to get one of these parts of the show in with you. And next time, I'm not even going to refer to it in any text or any type of thing like that.
Absolutely not.
I'm going to keep you just on the edge of your seat.
Yeah, like I am right now. Absolutely. I'm. Wait a second. Hang on. Yeah, I'm excited about that particular topic and its continued growth because you never want to have a soft launch when you have a league like that, and I mean, you sit there and you're looking at measurements and you're wondering, okay, how long is this table? How long is this? Can you sit there and go from your thumb to your pinky finger and figure that out? Figure out your measurements here. So were you planning a hard out for this show?
I was. Okay.
Say goodnight, Ryan.
See ya.
This has been Pucks in 7, available on the SiriusXM app and wherever you get your podcasts.